Welcome back to another video on the channel. In this one I'm going to be previewing and giving my predictions for the Women's US Open semi-finals. I have also done this for the two men's semi-finals, which will be Pablo Carreño Busta against Alexander Zverev and Daniil Medvedev against Dominic Thiem. So if you do want to listen to my thoughts on those matches, then do check them out. But today I'm going to be focusing on the women's side of the draw, and I mentioned this in a couple of videos this week that at the start of the last week when we had no Ashley Barty, no Simona Halep, obviously the two top ranked players in the world, and you wondered how good the event was going to be. But I think the WTA have got so many fantastic young and experienced players that we've had so many 50-50 matches and some epic battles, and it's been a fantastic Grand Slam event, and whoever wins it will certainly be worthy of lifting that title come Saturday night. So the two semi-finals we have are Jennifer Brady of the USA against Naomi Osaka and Serena Williams against Victoria Azarenka. So kicking things off with Jennifer Brady against Naomi Osaka, and Brady couldn't come into this match in much better form. She had a fantastic start to 2020, beating some top 10 players, I believe, and Elina Svitolina and Garbina Muguruza, and since returning from lockdown, Brady couldn't really be in any better form. She won the first WTA event back in Lexington. Not sure I don't think she dropped a set in that whole event. She then has come into this tournament playing again fantastic, aggressive, positive tennis, and she just looks in incredible form. I watched her match yesterday. She won in double quick time against Yulia Putintseva, and Putintseva tried to slice and dice and change the pace up. She couldn't match the power of Jennifer Brady, but as soon as Brady got the short ball and attacked it, the point was almost over. She won that match in double quick time, really, and the second serve of Putintseva just got obliterated all day. Brady just has so much hitting ability and just great power from the back of the court on forehand and backhand. She's serving incredibly well, very consistent. One thing I will say about Brady is that she's played two players in the last two rounds who are more defensive style. Angelique Kerber is obviously a fantastic former Grand Slam champion, but Kerber's a player that's very good defensively, good on the run. But she's up against a player, Naomi Osaka, who's also full of confidence and is arguably the biggest hitting female player in the world at the moment. Back full of confidence, Osaka. She's got that experience of winning Grand Slam titles. And Osaka, for me, I've said a number of times that when she's on form and hitting the way she can from the back of the court and serving it 120 plus mile an hour consistently, I believe there's only Simona Halep in the world that could probably defend against that in a hard court. And although Jennifer Brady will probably fight fire with fire here, she'll be confident going into this match that she can out hit Naomi Osaka. It's going to be a very, very close match. There's nothing to suggest that Brady couldn't really win this one. You can't say she's made her unforced errors this week. She's not serving well, because that's not true. Everybody she's played this week, she's beat pretty comfortably. She's out hit from the back of the court. She's hit lots of winners. She's serving aces. She's serving a high percentage of first serves. But Naomi Osaka is also doing that, and Naomi Osaka has not a lot more experience. She's a younger player, but she's got experience of winning these big semi-finals. She's got experience of winning a US Open final. She's won this title back in 2018. And yeah, for that reason I do have to go with Osaka. I did say in my preview video that I thought if Osaka was fully fit and had recovered from that hamstring issue in Cincinnati, which she clearly has, then she's definitely the favourite to win this event with the hitting ability that she's got on these fast courts. But you never quite know in these three-set matches if Osaka has a bad serving day or makes a hash of a few games, which is very possible. She's shown that in the past couple of years that she is vulnerable to having lulls during matches. Jennifer Brady will certainly be there to take full advantage. But if you go into this match assuming that both players are going to play 100% and continue the performances that they've shown this week, then I do have to go with Osaka, just for the fact I think she is, as I say, the biggest hitting female player in the world. The clean strikes, the power that she possesses from the back of the court is frightening at times. She's got that, as I say, 120 mile an hour plus first serve, and although I think Jennifer Brady will put a great fight up, she's got a fantastic attitude and has been winning matches. She comes to this match full of confidence. I do think Osaka will just end up out hitting her from the back of the court. And I think Osaka will take that match and progress to her second US Open final. Then on to what's going to be a quite incredible match in both players rolling back the years. Not so much Serena, she's been reaching finals every year, but certainly for Victoria Azarenka, who has sort of come out of nowhere. Azarenka hasn't done a lot in her career in the past few years. I think this is her first Grand Slam quarterfinals in 2017, but she came back from lockdown and won Cincinnati Open. Did get a walkover in the final against Naomi Osaka. That would have been interesting if we had that final, and then a repeat in the US. Not sure that's happened very often, but Azarenka just looked insane this week. Winning longer rallies, serving very well, winning lots and lots of net points. And last night I actually thought she would lose the match against Elise Mertens. I thought Mertens has been playing very well, reached the final in Prague. Is a very, very good hardcore player, and although I thought it would be very close, I thought Mertens might just edge that one, due to her being the younger player and having the win experience and winning form. Really, Azarenka hasn't played a great deal of Grand Slam tennis over the past few years due to early exits, whereas Mertens is very consistent and been playing incredibly well in hard courts the past couple of years. I did think Mertens would edge that one. But I think Azarenka just sort of blew her off the court. I didn't unfortunately get to see the match. It was on late in the UK. But I believe Mertens won just one game. I looked at the stats this morning, and the amount of winners compared to unforced errors for Azarenka was a huge plus. I think she won 8 out of 10 net points, which is something that she's doing very well, and she's done all throughout post-lockdown. And then you've got Serena Williams on the other hand, who I watched yesterday against Poronkova, and Serena Williams, you can just never count her out. The fight and the heart and desire that she's shown this week. Come from a set and a breakdown to Marie Sakkari, a set and a breakdown from Poronkova. A 39-year-old is, if this match in any match comes down to will to win, and heart and fight and needing of experience, then Serena Williams blows everybody off the court. I think this match is incredibly hard to predict. The longer rallies do have to favour Azarenka. She's also got the ability to switch up and attack the net. I think Serena Williams needs to start fast. She's conceded the first set to Sakkari and Poronkova in her last two matches, and I don't think she can do that. Azarenka is a good front runner. She's got winning form. She's playing incredibly well. She hasn't had any real long matches, so she should be still feeling fresh. She's got experience of winning Grand Slams. But for me, Serena Williams, the writing seems to be on the wall. She's come through some epic battles, and I just think Serena, is going to get better and better as the tournament progresses. And I think she packs the biggest punch off the return and her first serve. And I think if Serena can start quick, and produce the sort of tennis that she showed in the last two sets against Poronkova yesterday. I mean, the level that she produced in them last two sets yesterday was quite ridiculous. I think I saw the stats after, and she had something like 32 winners and 13 aces in just the last two sets against Poronkova, which shows you why. She's won 23 Grand Slam titles in the past, and Serena just looks like she's on a mission this week. She's desperate to level that Grand Slam title total with Margaret Court and reach 24 Grand Slams, and it's very difficult to bat against her, really. This match, as I say, it's going to be very, very close. I was thinking about this last night and who I think will win if this was to be the semi-final, and I've changed my mind a number of different times. Azarenka on one hand looks unstoppable, and to lose just one game to a player like Elise Mertens, who didn't apparently put in a bad performance, is just shows you how well Azarenka's been playing. The fact that she's got different switch ups, the fact she's been winning in the longer rallies, which doesn't favour Serena anyway, which we saw yesterday in that first set against Poronkova. But Serena's just so hard to bat against. She could be setting a breakdown and fight back in this one, whereas if Williams does get in front and manage to nick the first set, she's a fantastic front runner, and when she sees a winning line, she begins to serve incredibly well in return and hit the ball even harder and harder as the match progresses. And for me, just for that reason, I think if Williams can win this first set, I think she wins the match pretty comfortably. She's a player that after 40-45 minutes, where she starts to time the ball a lot better, work out the opponent, she just seems to hit the ball incredibly hard in the second and third set, and for that reason I do think Serena will come through. But two fantastic semi-finals. All four players just brilliant from the back of the court, got fantastic aggression and positivity in the play, hit clean, big ground strokes, and I think Naomi Osaka is certainly the favourite to come through against Brady. The Williams against Azarenka is just a complete 50-50, and it'll depend who plays better in the bigger moments and who turns up on the day. But yeah, I'll be back to preview the finals and also talk about the semi-finals. But as I said at the start of the video, I have done a preview and prediction video for the men's semi-finals as well, so if you do want to check that out, it is already on the channel. But leave in the comments below who you think will win the semi-finals of the women's tournament. I'm always interested to hear what other people think. So please like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.